Hey friends and family, so today I'm coming at you with a little bit of enthusiasm. I don't know if you can hear it. I want to talk about a game called BREAKWATERS, and if you haven't seen or heard anything about this game, well, lucky you, that's what this channel's for, is finding new games and sharing those new experiences together. Join our Discord, and also applause to the Patreons who make all of this community stuff possibles. But yeah, we're going to talk about a new Kickstarter game. I'm going to play the trailer, I'm going to show you what the stuff's got, and we're going to see how cool this game could be, and I'm a little, judge a book by the cover. If that's cool with you, let's do it. BREAKWATERS seems to me really like it's supposed to be a hyper-focused survival game, which generally tend to be the best, especially if they're PvE or co-op based. It's basically like survival, ocean simulation, kaiju fighting. That's it. Just that those three concepts of island survival, where you're hopping from island to island, slightly different biomes, mostly focused on the ocean and the water physics, which we definitely need to elaborate on. And then, of course, base building, farming, general survival stuff, trying to stay alive, rats attack you at night, I don't know, things like that, sure. But then also giant freaking kaijus or titans are going to be roaming around and stirring up trouble. And literally stirring up the ocean, which, yeah, that's what we really, that's the main character. We need to talk about that. So, okay, BREAKWATERS, probably very true to its name, it seems to really be showing off in the trailer. It's fluid, dynamic, physics, and maybe like some environmental puzzles that are going to come with that, the combat that comes with that, and the overall survival gameplay loop that it is apparent. In games like Valheim or very few others that have some sailing mechanics, the ocean tide rising and falling, or just the idea of sailing or getting stranded on an island is kind of like an aside, but this game is like, no, we're going to go real deep into that. We're going to go full into the water simulation, even to like the magic system, I guess you could debate, is all about the water. So yeah, you're going to be sailing, you're going to be getting like contraptions and gadgets that work with sailing, so like a crane to dig into the water to get chests and things, or cannons and stuff. But also there's going to be crystals, which you can use to either like separate water or spawn water or who knows what else. And then you're going to be creating not exactly like redstone contraptions, but you're going to be making some weird survival-y kind of machinations of sorts, such as like, how to store water, how to move water, how to, maybe how you do your farming and stuff like that. Water is going to be a big aspect to it. We need to see more about it, but so far what they've seen really teases me and gets my redstone gears turning here, and it's in such a unique fashion. I don't know if you guys ever worked with like the fluid stuff and made some non-redstone machines in Minecraft with water or lava or something like that, but this game is giving me that vibe. Anyways, so we gotta talk about the key features here. Like, is this an MMO? Is it single player? This is gonna be a focused co-op or single player game. So it's first off single player, and then it could be co-op. Now, how co-op it could be, or how expansive any of these features could be, might be determined by how much money they actually get. It is fully funded, so they only wanted $10,000 at first. So that's probably like okay, single player and then co-op comes later. But actually, they got about $55,000 already, so this game's well funded, and I think co-op is probably going to be right there. Like, they already wanted to do co-op. I think it's going to probably be done very well, but I don't know. It's got to be a challenge. I don't think it's going to be like 16 players, 12 players. I think it might be like one other player, maybe at max 4 players, just based on like how physics-based this game is. But man, it would be really fun to play this co-op, and it is guaranteed co-op is actually happening. So it is an ocean simulator. It's pretty obvious. Gameplay, that's what they say all over their Kickstarter. It's an ocean simulation style game. Though it's got magic. It's not, I mean, it's like Kamehameha-ing freaking giant turtles, okay? So it is going to be focused on like an explorative type of, sailing, trying to find like hidden treasures and things like that. There's going to be treasure maps, sort of Easter egg hunt style thing. You're going to be climbing towers or lighthouses so they can point the way toward like ancient hidden temples that you then have to, solve the water puzzles or whatever, bring a certain crystal to part the seas so you can go and do a little jumping puzzle or something. Yeah. Okay, so that's going to be a big part of the game. Also, defeating the Titans. That's the end game. So they're apparently the size of islands, and from what I see of the gameplay, yeah, makes sense. But then also not just the giant monsters, but there's also smaller, large monsters, like golems that are the size of a house, is what they say and what they show. And then there seems to be a nice wealth of monsters that also in the gameplay maybe interact with the water in unique ways. So really looking forward to that, splashing monsters or monsters that maybe divide water or freeze water. I mean, who knows? I mean, they've been pretty well funded here when it launches in early access. We've seen how a lot of these games can go pretty crazy. I think this game could do really cool stuff with the water stuff and things that I mean, we've seen Breath of the Wild, how they just have like the little elemental interactions. Well, look at this game with all this water elemental interaction. It could just be freaking amazing, actually. So I'm looking forward to that, and hopefully it's not just a gimmick. It seems like it could be just a gimmick, but at the same time, I don't know. I grew up on a beach town, and I do like water and stuff and things. In Valheim, sailing was kind of cool. That was a little teaser there. There's very few survival games that kind of do sailing, and normally it's an extreme aside or basically non-existent. But Valheim was like, oh wait, this is kind of cool. So yeah, I think this game, I could see why it's been funded. I bet a lot of people played Valheim and they're like, yeah, we should have like a totally like focused sailing game with magical water bullshit. Yeah. Anyways, so they do say like building structures is going to be really important, especially directly interacting with the world scale ocean simulation. Like you can turn a valley into a lake or open the doors and flood lowlands, like you can create dams and things like that. And this can also work with like I don't know, gadgets and things. So yeah, anyways, crafting items is going to be a big thing, obviously. You're going to be farming, building houses, crafting weapons, mostly melee weapons, axes, swords, stuff like that. There are a couple of like little gadgets though, like a little crane, possibly. We got like a cannon, and I think those things, like the cannon might be able to shoot crystals, which can interact with the water. And yeah, the crystals are like kind of the magic system where you like throw a crystal and it does stuff, like it attracts water, it negates water, I don't know, things. And they talk about there's different biomes and stuff. Sure, whatever, And then there's going to be different time, day, weather. But what I do know is that the weather is actually affected based on like some of the magic of the world. Like if there's a kaiju around, maybe a certain kaiju might be like a lightning or storm kaiju and it creates tornadoes or something. That's kind of what they're aiming for. Hopefully we get the most epic version of that now that they're so well funded. So yeah, the water physics that is just... It looks cool. Now, everything else, though, kind of does look a little cheesy, just to kind of judge the book by its cover, right? But then again, there's so many games, like 7 Days to Die, even Valheim, right? There's so many games that are just so cheesy, but it's like, what they do uniquely, they do better than any other game. And... have you seen a game like this? I think Sea of Thieves, like people were like, oh man, the waves are like actually 3D waves. That's pretty cool. So yeah, Sea of Thieves, yeah. I think this game takes the cake though and really adds the survival element to those water physics. This is gorgeous. I think it looks great, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun, especially co-op. Now, if you guys are wondering about that end game, how many titans, how many bosses? Now, for the original 10,000 goal, they had 3 titans, but I have a feeling that we'll probably eventually get more than just 3. Even still, 3 giant boss fights when there's so much other gameplay, like environmental puzzles, jumping puzzles, survival mechanics, and there's other monsters out in the world. I think it's fine. But we do have like a giant golem turtle thing. I don't know. He shoots laser beams out of his face. There is going to be a giant snake man thing, and there's going to be a giant crab. I don't know how I feel about the giant crab, but anyways, looks pretty cool. It's Turtle Titan, Serpent Titan, Crab Titan. Cool. What else could they do? I really want a Squid Titan because I've seen that hentai before. But yes, I'm pretty interested in giant monsters. That is absolutely my thing. I think a lot of you guys are as well, coming straight off of like Godzilla versus King Kong for freaking sure. Yeah, no, and then the end of Attack on Titan manga. Goodness, I freaking love Kaiju. Also, wait, there's a new manga called Kaiju number 8 or something? Is that good? I need to read that. Regardless, I'm ranting. I love monsters. So any game that combines like the open ocean exploration, all that, water physics, sure, and giant monsters, yeah. There's actually a game where it's like, okay, it's called Guild Wars 2. There's a giant dragon, and when it sweeps its tail, it creates like this tidal wave. I always mention that when I review Guild Wars 2 because it was such an impactful moment. And there was some really rare moments, I think, in a very few games like Battlefield, where like a giant wave caused my boat to like smash into like rocks or whatever. So I don't know, I always fantasized about like, what if there were giant monsters that like when they attacked or they moved, giant waves swept me aside, or, just just from them existing, the terrain itself was changed and morphed. And this is one of those games. I think that can do that. That really is inspiring of those tales that you tell your friends and gets them to play that game. It's like, yeah, dude, check out giant waves, big-ass storms, survival game. It gets spooky. There's giant monsters you got to worry about that cause tidal waves just from existing. Oh man, you could definitely tell I'm getting excited. But anyways, so yeah, no, in such a scary environment, you want to bring a friend. Co-op is already definitely coming in. It's dangerous to go alone. I like survival games that are co-op. I've done a few lists. I'll continue to do more if you guys want them. But absolutely, I think co-op is the way to go for games like this, especially when you're fighting like giant frickin' monsters, man. Now, I've been having fun with Valheim and a few others solo, sure, but whenever you play survival games with a friend, it just really elevates it. So I do hope co-op comes much sooner. They actually do literally have gameplay shown, but I don't know if that's going to be early access day one. We will see. Anyways, I am pretty excited about that. It looks like there's going to be general farming, general, punching trees, general stuff like that. So I don't think we need to elaborate too much on what a survival game is. Basically, once again, to reiterate, it's a survival game. And then right there, we could cut it. Right? We could be like, oh, it's a cheesy survival game. But no, it's an ocean simulation game. Oh, but no, it's an ocean simulation game with giant kaiju that are trying to kill you. So yeah, I think that's pretty cool. I also do appreciate that we are going to have sort of pirate technology, such as like grenades, I guess crossbows is pretty cool, cannons, and then maybe a little bit further, I don't know, I mean, hey, I'm just suggesting, but a grappling hook would be pretty cool. As for the weapons, it seems pretty usual. You got some like hammers, some axes, some swords, and then you have like a general kind of skill gem socketing system. I don't know if it's going to be to the capability of Albion Online or something like that, but yeah, we got some general weapon enhancements. I don't know, seems pretty basic. Really, it's going to be about that sailing. It's going to be about the survival gameplay loop. Oh my god, there's actually like videos. I'm just scrolling through while I'm remembering this. There's videos of like throwing a grenade in the water and a shark getting just blown the fuck up, like it flies into the sky. It looks like there's going to be some general like human NPCs too as well, but like I don't really care. The gameplay actually looks pretty vanilla in that instance. So we'll see where this game actually evolves into. Voxel destruction, you're going to be sieging the environment, potentially bases. I don't know. It's not a PvP game. This isn't like Rust or anything. It's not Sea of Thieves for sure. It is co-op. And I do just want to actually say that historically cooperative survival games are the ones that are rated overwhelmingly positive like every time. So people really like them. Co-op and, PvE is pretty fun. I do hope that we go further with like the contraptions and playing with the water and stuff like that. It seems like we might potentially, but in the end, even at its most basic and minimalistic state, which they did want for, the $10,000, I think it's going to be a fun game. I think it's going to be a really cute survival game. You're going to play with your friend. You're going to play it for a weekend or a month like you did Valheim, and you're going to have a great time. Is it going to be as fully fleshed out as Valheim? I don't think so. I think this one has a very specific concept in mind, and I think that's absolutely freaking fine. If you play survival games, from Grounded, Valheim, or even back in the day, 7 Days to Die or Ark Survival, you play all these different games, you have fun. You can admit they could be glitchy or cheesy or, sometimes a little bit straightforward. That's fine. This is another one that has a gimmick that we haven't really seen or really been done justice. Freaking ocean simulation kaiju survival game. Okay, let's go. That's pretty much all I got to say about the game. There's still a lot of vagueness with it and a lot of fine details I guess we could talk about, but this is just me letting you know a game exists. It's kickstarted, it's going to be coming soon, and I'm excited to play it. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below, and there's any other games that I should be looking into, shouting out, or trying to divulge. Much love. I will see you in the next one.